join us today. Our intention for this webinar is to help you discover how data and insights can provide you with a deeper understanding of your customers, so then you can turn your mobile engagement campaigns into uniquely personalized experiences at scale. To begin with, let's bring our attention to the present moment and look at the current challenges with mobile engagement. As we can see from some benchmarks, personalization is the key element that brings brands and their customers closer together. And what's interesting here is that 80% of customers prefer brands that provide them with personalized offers, and almost 70% of the respondents expect a consistent brand experience in all the online and offline channels, not to mention that the level of personalization is directly related to customer spending patterns and reduction of costs, not only in customer acquisition, but also in other areas such as customer services. Before we dive into mobile data and different ways in which you can improve the personalization of your campaigns, let me give you a quick background to MoEngage and how we approach customer engagement for those of you who are not familiar with our brand. MoEngage is an insight-led customer engagement platform, and we help marketeers and product owners scale their mobile and customer engagement campaigns by leveraging our AI capabilities to provide them with deep customer insights that enable them to make more informed decisions to drive their business results. With our solutions, brand can easily create mobile, but also multi-channel experiences across their customer lifecycle, from onboarding, engagement to growth and optimization. And because we realize that personalization might be challenging for many brands, we would like to invite you to pause for a moment and answer our poll question that will help us understand better how personalized your current mobile experiences are.
Great. So here we can see that it can be very challenging to create personalized engagements with your users. Sorry, let me share the results here. And so we hope that by the end of this session, you'll be equipped with some of the tools, tips, and best practices to better optimize the impact of your messages by making them personalized. So quickly, a little bit about Adjust. I like to say that Adjust is a one-stop shop for mobile marketers to grow and scale their businesses. We're an MMP, or mobile measurement partner, which means that we help connect the dots between ads and app installs so that you can understand which campaigns, ad networks, or creatives are driving the most value for you. We have a number of other solutions, from fraud prevention, marketing automation, audience segmentation, just to name a few. But today, I'm really going to be talking about data, and the data that Adjust can help you collect so that you can fine-tune and hone your messaging. So when we think about engaging our audiences or our users, we usually start with what we want to say or what we want to achieve. For example, we might know that we want to bring users into the app to try a new product feature. But how do we say that message, and to what audiences do we say it to, and at what time, in order to optimize our impact? And these are the questions that data helps us answer. Because it's all very fine and well to craft a beautiful message, but if we're saying it to the wrong people or at the wrong time, it can be worse than not saying anything at all. And that's really where data helps us take out the guesswork from marketing and fine-tune our messaging. So here we can see a very basic tracking setup where you're looking at which campaigns or creatives are driving your installs. But with this really basic tracking setup, you're not getting any insights about who your users are. So you're simply not tracking enough data to create personalized messages. Here we can see another tracking setup, which is probably a bit more common, where you're tracking installs as well as sessions and registrations and maybe a few other in-app events, but it's really still not enough data to understand and create personalized messages. So when we think about what data you need to be tracking in the app to create these personalized messages, we usually want to ask ourselves 4 key questions. And going clockwise, these questions are: what do my users do in the app? Which of my users spend and why? Which users should I bring back and how? And which dormant users have uninstalled? So really what this boils down to is wanting to track every single meaningful action that our users might take in the app. Not only is this going to benefit our messaging, but we're also going to be able to use this information to gain insights into the conversion chain, user journey, and also potentially reveal some insights that help us find areas for improved app development. So to give an example, in light of Valentine's Day, let's take a flower and gift delivery app. So this app is going to want to track, of course, sessions and purchases, but they may also want to track all of the products that a user is searching for, when a user favorites an item, when an item's added to a basket, and when it's removed from a basket. Because say, for example, that a user adds chocolates to their basket and then reads some negative reviews and removes that box of chocolates from their basket. If you message that user to remind them about the box of chocolates in their basket, it could be really annoying, right? Because they've already decided they don't want that product. On the other hand, if a user has a box of chocolates in their cart and they have not removed it, then maybe they would want to be reminded that it's Valentine's Day, and in order to make a timely delivery of these chocolates, they're going to need to make an order or make a purchase in the next 2 hours. So this message would be really helpful to that user. And even though these 2 messages are the exact same messages, the way data can help you pick up on these nuances to make sure that when you're reaching out to your clients, you're optimizing the impacts of that message. So all of this just again to say that the purpose of collecting data is to laser focus your message, because if you're not tracking enough, it's going to result in inaccurate, annoying messages. So here we see a few examples of different ways that you can collect data to laser focus your messaging. So in this top group, the green, you can see that this user segment has played a game up until level 20 and then became dormant. So this might be a really good opportunity to message these users with either a hint for passing level 20, or maybe encourage them to spend some money to gain some tool that will help them pass this level. In the second user group, this purple one, you can see that they only use the app on the weekdays and they have some favorited products. So for this user segment, laser focusing your message you would want to send the message on the weekdays when they're more likely to be using the app, and then remind them of some of their favorited products. So another tool that we marketers have in our toolbox is A/B testing. So we can test what works and what doesn't. A/B testing also benefits from more data, because you need a lot of data in order to create valuable user segments that you can test. With this data, you can test the targeting of your message, the time and delivery method of your message, and the tone of your message. But again, if you're not collecting a lot of data, you're not going to be able to create these really valuable segments that you can test. If you're only collecting, say, purchase information, the only segments you can really segment is the recency of the purchase, and it's not going to be as valuable. So again, all of this just to say that I hope this comes together to reinforce that when you are thinking about engaging your clients, you really want to leverage data to send the right message to the right people at the right time. Because just like in our personal relationships, we have to pick up on cues in order to convey a correct message that has maximum impact. So if you're interested in learning more, definitely stick around, drop a line, or continue on, join us for the Q&A section of this webinar. That's it from my portion. I'm going to hand this back over to Ermina, and she will expand on the ways in which we can create personalized messages with data. Ermina?
Thank you, Kelsey. When we look at the first brand touch point that makes our customers fall in love with our brand, we think about acquisition and onboarding. At this stage, it is crucial to create a holistic customer view and get all the insights you need to make a lasting impression, first impression that will help our customers to continue develop their feelings for our brands. So as I mentioned in the introduction, MoEngage empowers brands to easily engage, segment, engage, personalize, and optimize customer mobile and cross-channel engagement to create deeper and more meaningful connections with their customers. And to achieve this, we provide brands with better understanding of their customer behavior at every stage of their customer journey. Here we want to be mindful not only of the content of our communications, but also the diverse ways that we can connect with our customers on their mobile devices, so we can turn mobile engagement into immersive customer experiences using different formats such as carousels, banners, and notifications that can be static or dynamic and always personalized to the interests and preferences of each individual. And of course, we need to remember that our mobile engagement campaigns can go beyond mobile, and it is important to provide our customers with a consistent brand experience online and offline, independently of the channel that we choose to engage them with at any given time. Finally, we put your customers at the core of everything that we do with our unified customer profile. And we find that having a holistic view of a customer in one platform gives brands a complete overview of all their data from mobile, web, CRM platforms, and offline channels such as POC. This in turn enables brands to get better insights into customer engagement with their campaigns across different brand touch points. This level of granularity of data and insights allows us to create personalized user experiences at scale and provide each customer with unique brand experiences. And when we get a holistic view of our customers throughout their life cycle, we might want to consider bringing our campaigns to the next level by introducing machine learning and AI capabilities that will help us take the guesswork out of our campaigns and optimize our onboarding, engagement, and overall conversion rates by helping us automate decisions, such as the optimal time, channel, or device that we use to connect with our customers. So for example, if a brand knows that I check my email in the morning when I have my morning coffee, but then interact with their mobile app throughout the day, they can make sure that I receive the best brand experience across these two channels without overwhelming me with too many messages that I'm not likely to interact with anyways. After the initial love at first sight, we are moving to the next stage, namely getting to know each other and customer engagement. This stage is all about celebrating what makes each customer unique with relevant communications and turn your mobile campaigns into uniquely personalized experiences. And to illustrate this, there is no better example as one of our customers, Coco Melody, that is a retail bridal boutique that shares with their customers a lot of love through uniquely personalized customer experiences. Here is an example of one of their campaigns that encouraged future brides to order their wedding dresses online and try them at home before they purchased. By leveraging MoEngage, they were able to have the right data analytics to see at what point ad users were abandoning products, what products were searched for, pages visited, etc. Once the team understood their audience's interests and activities, they were able to use tools such as AI to build an easy journey that will help them promote customers at different stages across their preferred channels, whether that be a mobile app, email, SMS, on web push. Messaging was personalized based on the customer's dresses preferences. And as we could see, they reached 130% increase in sales in this category. As we all know, our campaigns are not static and customer behavior changes as we launched and continue our mobile and cross-channel campaigns. That is why we empower you to get actionable insights where your customers move from low to high value segments and engage them with personalized campaigns so that you can maximize customer lifetime value across mobile and all your brand touch points and engage your customers in real time. So for example, you can easily see the impact of your latest engagement campaigns, how your customers responded to your communications. So you can keep refining the messaging and optimizing the strategy while driving engagement, brand loyalty, and reducing churn. Having a holistic view of a customer enables you to understand not only your users, but also their entire customer journey. So our path analysis enables you to uncover and visualize the paths that your customers follow while navigating your customer touchpoints. This way you can find out the best path to improve your user experience, increase conversions, and reduce churn. This takes guesswork out of your customer analysis and allows you to stay on the top of changing trends without drowning in data. So for example, you can easily spot events that lead to uninstalls of your mobile app, such as users dropping off during the onboarding process, which allows you to predict churn before it happens, re-engage the inactive users, and uncover problems like difficulty in finding relevant product or services or too many notifications. And here are some examples how you can use product recommendations and mobile notifications in a more dynamic way to create more immersive experiences for your users. Happily ever after, growth and loyalty, it's all about the commitment that you make to be the most loyal brand to your customers. As your relationship keeps evolving, your customers' needs and preferences change, and we want to encourage brands to continue to surprise their customers with immersive brand experiences and keep exceeding their expectations with mobile marketing campaigns that matter. Having a holistic view of your customers and their customer journeys will enable you to reduce churn and reactivate inactive users. And AI and machine learning capabilities can give you more insights into user propensity to churn or repeat purchases based on their past interactions with your brand. So we can engage them with the optimal campaigns across mobile and other channels. Finally, we all know that personalization for many brands means targeting segment audiences and cohorts at the campaign level. We provide our customers with uniquely personalized one-to-one experiences at scale. So let us introduce you to one of our customers, a top-ranked dating app, More, that uses personalization to help its users to find the one. Over to you, Sneha.
Awesome. Thank you, Irmina, for a great segue into S'more. So adding a little bit more love into your Valentine's Day today, I hope I'm able to connect what Irmina has spoken and what Kelsey has been telling us about data into how we actually practice it at S'more. So with that, with further, no further delay, welcome to S'more, relationships powered by content and not by headshots. Most of you must have heard of the dating apps like the Tinder and the Bumble and all of that. And the one thing that's very common between those dating apps is the headshot, right? We're trying to take our users away from the headshot and try to get them into more meaningful relationships. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about the market in general, right? Only 35% of the US singles actually use dating apps, but 65% of these people actually meet online. So why don't they meet others on dating apps? Well, all of us, I think we can easily guess the reasons, right? They've had a bad experience. It's just a very weird environment to be in. It's so superficial. I'm supposed to right swipe, left swipe based on that headshot. There's a lot of harassment, catfishing. It's overtly sexual, too many weird pictures rotating about. And there's this whole negative association, stuck to it. Of course, it's changing, but then we're trying to consciously change this effort of trying, finding love based on more than just a headshot or more than just a pretty face. So S'more is not about the transactional dating, and we're trying to form an intentional community where content drives connections or content drives relationships, where you can discover something more about a person than just that pretty headshot. Yes, looks do matter, but that shouldn't be the only thing in a relationship. How long can we keep talking about how beautiful each of us looks, right? So on S'more, we allow you to consume content, and then with that, you get to meet people based on common interests, common content, and actually start chats. And as you start chatting with a person, the more you chat, the more their photo gets revealed. And then it's up to you. Of course, like I said, a headshot does matter, the photo does matter, but that's not the first. We don't want you to base your relationship just based off that headshot, right? And so we have all of these other features on S'more as well, like daily horoscopes, celebrity videos, blurred video dating. We just got a review today where a person said that they love the whole blurred dating concept and how that they would rather use the blurred dating concept instead of just chatting via text, which we thought was pretty cool. Behavioral scores, we make sure we keep people in check so people don't send out content that's inappropriate for a dating app. And then everyone needs to be 100% verified, something else that we require of all our users on S'more. We match you based on your interests, common interests. And of course, we track your activity, that's, what you do on the app, how many people liked your profile, what it looks like, and things like that. So coming back to a little bit as to why personalization matters for a dating app like S'more. The very first thing I said should have been the reason. We are an app where the headshots come later and it's based off content. How do you explain this to a user who's used to being on the Bumbles and the Tinders where you actually swipe based off that headshot? A very difficult concept, right? So that is literally the reason why personalization is the key indicator to how we drive activity on S'more. We make the notifications. In this case, I've just shown you an example of a push notification where, we tell users that, okay, this is the reason you should be on S'more. There's someone who's out here they want to chat with you. And as you can see, this person has a lot of chats, so they should be coming in and chatting pretty more often. So it's their turn. So this way we're able to drive retention up, and not just day one retention, but like retention over 30 days is also a very strong candidate on S'more because we make this an integral part in a user journey on S'more. Some of the other things we do is, I've spoken so much about content, so I need to explain what I mean by that and how people discover it. Like Irmina was saying, right, we create cohorts of users who behave in a certain way. And we know that's because of all of this information that we're able to track, all the data that Kelsey is talking about, we have a lot of data, and that helps us form user cohorts to whom we show different kinds of in-app messaging. In this case, we show them something that takes them right to the entertainment tab, because we know that kind of a user is probably going to spend more time looking at content and trying to find people of this content. So this way, increase time on app, increase engagement, and therefore increase in growth, organic growth for Smart. So different ways we're actually able to drive personalization and use the right kinds of data. We also A/B test a lot of these creatives because what works for one cohort of users is probably not going to work for someone else from somewhere else. Maybe a different age range or different gender. So you never know what works till you actually test it out with all that data and with all these other tools that we can help to supplement. And with that, we've been like really lucky because we've been able to be the top 8 dating apps, and we're challenging the Tinder model. Of course we are. We've also been the top 15 dating apps of 2022. 2022 just started and we're already out there. We're also one of the top 5 recommended dating apps in the US by the Apple's, Apple usually sends out this list. And we're the top 5 on that. And we've been also in a part of a lot of these publications just because we're trying to change the game of dating, or changing the game of actually meeting people and connecting with people. And with that, a small love story for today, where we got this last December. I literally got married in December to a man I met on the Small app. We live in Dallas, and I could not have been more shocked that I met my spouse on an app, let alone a new dating app. And here's the thing. If you put in the work on Small, you'll find great people. That's what I did. The quality of the average person is better and not as sketchy. This is literally the reason why it's awesome working at a dating app. But also, this is what we look forward to, right? We're trying to find the right connection. So adding a little bit to what Kelsey said, right data, you use the right messaging, you show to the right user so that they have the right experience. So that's all about Smart.
That's amazing. It's rare that when you think about personalized mobile engagement, it actually leads to an engagement. So wow, what a cool story. And with that, let's have a poll that concludes the content of our session. So would you be interested in learning more about personalizing your campaigns? I will launch the poll and give just about 30 seconds, minute. Awesome. So many of you are interested in learning more. We're going to open this up to a Q&A, so you have an opportunity to learn a little bit more, but then also we'll be happy to share some additional resources at the end of this call so that you can really delve into the topic. I'm going to open this up to a Q&A now. There are some questions we received in advance, and Mina, would you like to start with one of the questions we received?
Sure, thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Sneha. We're very excited about the personalization and seeing such amazing results from our customers. So thank you so much for sharing. The first question regards usability and inclusive design in mobile, and how we do it right, how do we measure it, and what are the best practices. So here, let me make a distinction between the accessible design and inclusive design. So accessible design focuses more on the outcome or the end result of a design project, while inclusive design is closely related to accessibility by creating a design that can be used by diverse groups of people. Here we need to remember that mobile usability isn't just about scaling a website or app to fit various devices. It is about understanding how people use mobile devices, and that the mobile experience is as unique as the user. Mobile usability is about paying meaningful attention to the ways people use mobile devices, and understanding that the mobile experience is as unique as the user. That is why we offer brands dynamic segments and user path analysis and artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities that will provide them with deeper insights and understanding of their users and their interactions with different brand touchpoints, so brands can improve their user experience and optimize their campaigns. but also eliminate all the friction areas that might be linked to the product design or onboarding flows. So as always, the data and the right insights will enable brands to make better decisions and also measure the progress and be able to optimize their mobile design and keep improving their campaigns in real time.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Irmina, for that. We received another question that's, what's the #1 factor that makes a user decide an app is trustworthy? Sneha, would you like to take that question?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think it's a lot of things, right? It's a lot of things that we spoke about, that, the kind of data that you're tracking, the kind of the methodologies that you're using to make sure you attract the right users, and the campaigns that you're performing, to acquire the right users, making sure that they don't become dormant. All of that, I think it has to do a lot with that, because I mean, first, for brands to be safe, to be a safe brand, you need to make sure that all of these things that you're using, they come with, they come with, I don't know how to put this, but then they don't use practices that are not supposed to be used industry standard wise. And I think that's kind of, even with Adjust and MoEngage and things we've been talking about, the way we collect data, the way they collect data and the way they use these insights and create cohorts, and the messaging that's being used needs to be rightfully done. So I think the answer is data, and how you're actually using this data kind of determines what kind of a brand associates with it. So I hope I kind of cleared the question, but do reach out in case you have any other questions with respect to this.
Thanks so much, Sneha. The final question we had received in advance was that we are considering re-engaging our client, our list for cleanup. We then want to develop conversation about what interests them. How best do we do this? And the common theme, of course, is it's really all about data and making sure that you understand who your users are, whether that's from user surveys or interviews, but also, as we discussed, all of the different event tracking you can do within the app to understand what their interests are and drive an understanding that way. I hope I answered that question, but again, we'll be so happy at the end of this to reach out to you individually if you have any questions. So please just drop a line. And I am going to now move this back over to Devin. She's going to help us close this session today.